Testosterone.
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 If you aren't living under a rock, you've probably noticed that everyone is screaming about testosterone right now. And rightly so. It's the cornerstone of muscle mass, daily function, and what makes you traditionally masculine. Base testosterone levels are decreasing at quite a terrifying rate, and it's fed by our sedentary lifestyles, poor food choices, and general lack of regard for health. But the advice the 17-year-old looks maxers are giving out is just plain stupid. And the irony is, most of them probably aren't even old enough to know what testosterone is either. Don't eat out of plastic, don't touch receipts, only use certain shampoos, avoid this, avoid that. You may as well avoid doing anything at all, ever. And I'm here to tell you something that might annoy a few people. Most of this is completely pointless. Not because those things don't technically affect testosterone, but because even if they do move the needle, it's by such a tiny amount that you'll never feel, see it, or notice it in your day-to-day life. So instead of obsessing over micro-optimizations, let's talk about the boring things that actually matter. The stuff that genuinely shifts your baseline testosterone level. And yes, they're all very boring, as you'd expect. Here's the problem with most testosterone advice online. It focuses on eliminating tiny theoretical risks instead of fixing massive, obvious problems. If avoiding plastic bottles changes your testosterone by 0.5%, but you're sleeping 5 hours a night, dieting aggressively, completely stressed, barely training properly, that 0.5% is entirely irrelevant. You're not low testosterone because you touched a receipt. You're low testosterone because your lifestyle is actively suppressing it. And once you understand that, everything gets a lot simpler. Let's quickly clear up natural testosterone boosters, because this is where people get confused. They can work, but only in one situation. They help bring testosterone back to normal, not above your normal. If you've come out of a long, aggressive diet, illness, a heavy stress period, or a run of poor sleep, then sure, perhaps they assist, but they aren't a tool that means you can entirely neglect the habits that actually support healthy testosterone levels. Remember, they don't override biology. If you're expecting supplements to fix a broken lifestyle, you're just wasting money. So let's talk about what actually adjusts your baseline testosterone, the big levers that you'll genuinely feel on a day-to-day basis. First of all is calories and body fat. Chronically undereating is one of the fastest ways to suppress testosterone. If you're always dieting, always lean, always depleted, your body adapts by down-regulating reproductive hormones. You don't need to be fat, but you do need enough energy availability. For most men, maintaining a reasonable level of body fat and avoiding prolonged calorie deficits is a non-negotiable for healthy testosterone. Next is stress. Testosterone and chronic stress just don't coexist very well together. Long-term psychological stress raises cortisol, and cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production. This isn't just mental health talk. Low-intensity cardio, walking, managing workload, and not living in a fight or flight all day actually matter. If your nervous system is fried, your hormones will also be fried. Muscle mass and hard training also matter. Heavy resistance training increases androgen receptor sensitivity, supports testosterone and growth hormone release, and improves overall metabolic health. You don't need marathon gym sessions, but you do need to train hard, progressively, and consistently. Muscle is a metabolically active tissue, and it's also hormonally supportive. Dietary fat intake is another one people mess up. Extremely low fat diets are a terrible idea. Testosterone is synthesized from cholesterol, and dietary fat plays a key role in hormone regulation. A simple rule of thumb is around 20% of total calories should come from fat at the minimum. Sources matter too. Whole eggs, red meat, oily fish, olive oil, and avocado are a good place to start. And if we're talking about micronutrition and supplements, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, and omega-3 support hormone production, sleep quality, and recovery, but they support rather than override. Food comes first, supplements fill the gaps. And moving on to another factor, sleep hygiene and circadian rhythm are probably the most underrated factors. Testosterone is primarily produced during sleep. If your sleep is short, inconsistent, disrupted by screens, or out of rhythm, your testosterone will reflect that. Consistent sleep and wake times, reducing blue light at night and getting sunlight exposure in the morning makes a huge difference. Fix sleep and your hormone health improves very quickly. Two final things people underestimate are alcohol and time outside. Regular alcohol intake suppresses testosterone, disrupts sleep, and increases estrogen. You don't need to be teetotal, but stop pretending it's neutral. And time outside matters more than you think. Morning sunlight, walking outdoors, and real light exposure help anchor your circadian rhythm and improve sleep quality downstream. Again, very boring but effective. So no, your testosterone isn't being destroyed by plastic containers and shampoo. It's being suppressed by poor sleep, chronic stress, aggressive dieting, inactivity, alcohol, and a lack of routine. Let's fix the fundamentals first, and testosterone as a byproduct usually fixes itself. And if you can manage to fix all of these things first, then maybe we can start to think about the micro percent movers, like not touching receipts.